T-Boys TV, we're here outside of White Hart. Very, very nice people, very, very nice pub. They kindly put on the Luton game for me. And hopefully the games I don't attend that are on Sky throughout the season, I will be here for them games. But obviously it finished Luton Town 1, AFC Wimbledon 0. I mean, wasn't the greatest of performances if we're going to be honest. But before I get into anything, oh, who's that wild guy in the background? Oh, it's Dazzy Boy, Dave, my dad. Turned up randomly in the second half. Obviously, if he was on my TikTok live, you'd have noticed. And Gary, who's going to be doing a fan cam. It'll be great to have his debut. Luton fan I actually met at this pub. And yeah, he's a really nice guy. Give me shirts. Give me shirts and things like that. So, fair play to him. But yeah, before I get into the game itself, we announced someone. We announced two players. I'm not really going to touch on the first player we announced because I don't know too much about him, but it doesn't fill the fans with confidence. We still need a Doughty replacement. He's not really that. He's more of a backup. But the other player, Jerry Yates. Now, me and my dad were discussing this yesterday, the rumours that come out. And we had to wait till 7 a.m. from Swansea Independent just to tell us he ain't going to Wickham because obviously they need a striker by the looks of it. It looks like Kone's going to go to Preston. But Yates, he's come to Luton, and what a signing. I mean, I've always rated him, like I said in the Hatter Show, since that season, where he got 14 goals for Blackpool, and they finished 23rd in the Championship. You know, got 10 goals for Derby last year. I mean, a lot of people on TikTok were saying, oh, take him, I don't want him. He could really, you know, come back and have sort of a comeback story for Luton. He is that number 9. We was waiting for that number 9, and it's Jerry Yates. I'm buzzing about that. I've always rated the player. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that signing. But yeah, when it comes to the game itself, like I say, not the greatest of performances, but the lineup when it come out, it looked like a 3-4-3. So Keeley in goal, Makoso, Anderson, Naismith. Wing backs look like Walters and Longwick. And then Saville, Walsh and Clark in the midfield, Wells and Ali. So, obviously, Bloomfield has said Longwick can play as a wing-back, which is good in a way, because then it gives Ali the luxury to play forward. And we got some really good striking options now, guys. You know, especially if we play two, with the sense of Yates coming in. Imagine Yates and Ali. Imagine Wells and Yates. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's things you can do now. But yeah, that was the starting lineup. Good to see in a way Lamine wasn't playing, McGuinness wasn't playing, because I didn't want to see them start, because obviously you don't want to rush them back. But the game itself, first half, we did struggle to get like a hold of the ball. We was very sloppy. I thought Walters had an awful first half, if I'm going to be totally honest, very sloppy. But second half, really, really good. You know, he stepped up massively, and you know, he come off when he come off, he looked a bit fatigued. But overall, he was you know, good in that second half, and it was a much better performance from him. Ali was really good, but Ali is going to cause havoc. If we manage to keep hold of him in League One, you know, I think we will keep hold of him. I think the rumours at the start were just paper talk, really, and just stuff that they try and say. But honestly, the stuff he's going to be able to do now, you know, with an experienced player like Yates on top of that, who's going to be able to benefit Ali, you know, we just need to get that. For me now, we just need to get that Doughty replacement. You know, I would still say just the right back, just to help Walters. Because I think, you know, second half he was good, but first half, you know, if you can get an EFL experienced player alongside, that'll be really good. You know, that'll be really good, and I think that'll massively benefit us. And if we ended the window like that, I'll be happy. You know, I'll be more raring to go. And obviously, it's still a very long time. So, there's still going to be more rumours. There's still going to be more links with players and things like that. So, we'll just see what we can do. But second half, we were better. Like I say, we did dictate a little bit more. And we stuck it on them in the end. And, you know, I felt a bit of the substitutions deserve a bit of credit. I mean, Lamine tried to get himself involved. And Woodrow, he has his critics, you know, including myself sometimes. But he was a good part of that goal. You know, he put their defender under a bit of pressure. He didn't really know what to do. Ended up being an own goal. So you have to give him credit. And I do feel, as much as I've criticised him, I feel he's a good player to bring on in dying stages if you need a goal or something like that. Because he can massively affect games. You know, you have seen that of him in the past. You think of that Everton game in the FA Cup. You think of Norwich all them years ago in the Championship. You think of Palace in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of games there. So he is good in that sense for that influence. But another player I want to give credit to, and he has actually got man of the match on Flash Scores, Anderson. I thought he was unbelievable. You know, I said it when the season ended. I wanted to keep him because I feel, you know, for League One, he's quality. You know, you look at Barnsley, obviously the year they got in the playoffs when he was their captain, he wasn't involved in the final. Their fans were absolutely gutted. And the signs were there in the opening times of the Premier League, I feel. So you have to give him massive credit. I think he's had a lot of criticisms. Oh, he's slow, he's not good enough. He weren't good enough in the back two with McGuinness last year when we did play the back four, shall I say, with them as the two centre-backs. But I think this pre-season and this game, he's done really well, like just heading everything away. Do you know what I mean? Like, really good from him. And yeah, do you know what? He's my man of the match. I was thinking between him or Walters, and again, I know Walters started off poor first half, but second half is a massive part of that. You know, come back. A lot of people said Ali in my TikTok chat, but I'm gonna say Anderson, man, because I thought, you know, he's part of that clean sheet. He's had a lot of critics, and he's just doing really, really well. And another thing that's good with him is, I know a lot of players are like it, but I've seen him have a lot of a big connection with fans. You know, obviously I've spoke to him a few times on Instagram DMs and stuff as well, and he's a really down to earth guy. And I just wish the best for him. You know, let's not forget, guys, he was the player who got our first goal at Kenilworth Road in the Premier League. So, you know, he can step up, and I believe he'll be a massive part of our team going forward this season. And yeah, he could maybe, you know, continue to start for these first couple of weeks, to be fair, especially the players we got out. You prefer Naismith on the left. Makoto's a shoe-in as well. I thought he was good tonight still as well. So, you know, it wasn't a vintage Luton performance, but if you win the game, you can't complain. And that is a good start. You know, traditionally we start off poor. So, you know, there's a benefit there. And then obviously we can sit back a little bit and watch the other games, you know, go on tomorrow. Obviously the early game is Cardiff-Peterborough. Interesting game that. You know, Cardiff obviously went down like us. I don't think they've still signed anyone, which ain't great signs for them. And then obviously they're taking on Peterborough, who lost a lot of key players, but be interesting to see how they do. Obviously we've got them next week as well, so see how that goes. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Do let me know your man of the match. Do let me know your thoughts. Luton fan, AFC Wimbledon fan, or a neutral fan. Smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the Extra channel. Take care, peace.